We're gonna pretend like we didn't have any audio problems and just keep going.
Yeah, let's just tank through this.
So hey, welcome to the audio spill pod. Wait, what did I say?
The audio spill.
Can you tell how fucking tired I am? The coffee spill podcast. This is the coffee spill podcast. And
Yeah.
speaking of which, I'm gonna have a good sip of mine.
Yeah, I'm gonna join you.
I'm just like, there you go, listeners. How you like them apples? Let me set the timer again because we were halfway done with the last one. So just if you can't tell by our frustration, we just had audio problems,
Yeah,
and we're back now. So I guess we're gonna fucking do the intro again.
let's do the intro again. This is the Coffee Spill podcast. I'm Edgar,
I'm Ricky.
and today
How was your week?
it was
Fuck
good.
your week. We're gonna talk about Endgame.
Fuck this week.
We're gonna
Fuck
talk-
everyone's week.
Yeah. So this week it's a special week in the MCU. Endgame's out as we're recording this.
Yep.
And I'm excited.
Yeah, great.
I know I don't sound excited. That's just because I'm emotionally drained from. I'm just drained from today.
I'm trying to contain myself. It's really, really hard. It may sound like I'm doing a great job, but oh my god.
So our idea for this episode was we wanted to try to do predictions for Endgame.
Yeah.
And like what we think will happen in this movie.
Yeah, open our minds a bit. Let's see what lies ahead.
Open our minds a bit.
What lies ahead and this story.
So, you want to go first or I go first?
Oh,
Oh, wait, I went first before.
yeah, you went first. I was like, yeah, you do it.
And by before, I mean like the previous attempt at recording this.
Yep. I mean, no, that didn't happen. That
Mhm.
didn't happen. Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. Anyway. So, as I was saying, my first prediction,
Yeah.
and I was thinking about this on the way home today from work. When you think of Infinity War, you think it feels mostly like a Tony Stark film,
Mm-hmm.
an Iron Man film. They give Thor some pretty good screen time. They give the Guardians a pretty key role. I'm looking at you, Peter. Peter Quill. But overall, the movie felt like it was mostly Iron Man centered. And if you time the characters' screen time, Tony has, I think, somewhere like 18 minutes total.
Yeah,
Like he's got a lot of screen time. So,
pretty much.
well, my prediction for Endgame is that Tony will still be a major role in the film
Uh-huh.
because I think he's the smartest person left alive in the team. Banner's there, but Banner's more like biological, isn't he? Or like, no, he's like into radiation. Like that's where his doctorate is, isn't it? He's more like radiation. You know what?
I don't even know. I mean, I know he he has a medical background.
I don't know where I'm going with that thought. Anyway, I actually don't know where I'm going with that thought. But yeah, Endgame feels like it'll be more Captain America driven rather than Tony Stark driven. I think it's gonna be like the mirror version of kind of like a play on Civil War, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like I felt like going back to Infinity War. I personally felt like it made sense that they put the attention first on Tony because starting at the first Avengers movie, he was traumatized. He's freaking out because he saw a lot of stuff go down, and it was so overwhelming for him.
In the first Avengers movie,
Yeah,
he wasn't traumatized in the first one.
he. I mean, it pretty much shows it in.
Oh,
in the third film. I mean,
you're
in
saying
the
that
third, in
you're
the third
saying
Iron Man
that
movie.
you're saying that he got traumatized.
Yeah, he got traumatized.
Oh, okay, I understood it weirdly.
Yeah, and so, and then not only that, he also started seeing visions. He's mentioned that certain points that he's had dreams, and it's almost as if it was like a premonition kind of dream where it leads up to this, and it's like destiny. Like Thanos says, destiny still arrives, and it's like it meets up with them together as if it was meant to be. So, yeah, I can see how this is like Tony's film, but me personally,
Infinity War.
yeah, I personally
Okay,
feel
but
like
what about Endgame?
Endgame. Well, I don't.
That's what I'm saying. I think
It's hard. It's hard for me to predict because the trailers were so vague. They did a really good job hiding it a lot.
yeah, but just give us a prediction of what you think will happen,
Well,
or
I
like
mean,
what you think is going to be the overall feel.
the overall feel. I know like there's gonna be obviously a lot of tension between throughout the whole film because of the tragedy after the snap, but within that tension, I feel like there's going to be even more tension. I predict between with the Avengers between both sides after because of after what happened of Civil War.
I don't think there'll be that much tension. For I think overall, we saw in Infinity War, they pretty much forgave each other. Even Tony was like, it looked like he was going to like try to come to Steve and make amends. I think overall, they're all like, you know what, we were all dumb. Let's just be friends again and fucking avenge people. I don't think it's gonna be as tense as Civil War was at the end. I think the tension, if anything, will be from can we save these fallen heroes? I think that's where the tension is going to be from.
Yeah, I mean it could be that. What I'm also very interested in seeing is I keep I keep noticing a lot of shots of Hawkeye who is now wearing like this cool ninja samurai suit.
Is he?
Yeah, and people have been predicting it over the last 2 years about he's gonna play this character named Ronan.
Wait, I don't know why I was thinking about Falcon.
Falcon.
I don't know why I was thinking about him.
No,
I was like,
Jeremy Renner's
God
character.
damn, I'm fucking tired. I was thinking about Falcon. Oh yeah, so yeah, I did see that. I don't know anything about that character. I don't know anything about
Yeah.
Flint becoming that character in the comics.
Yeah, and so I'm really curious about how they're gonna handle Hawkeye because it looks like he's gonna have a pretty interesting arc by some of the stuff that I've seen.
But what do you?
I
Okay, so far you've just given like feels and like what you've seen in the trailers. Give us a prediction.
I did.
What did you say?
I just mentioned I predict there's gonna be tension with the Avengers themselves. I made that prediction.
That's a given though. You're taking the easy way out.
But I'm like, well, that's the first part. That's like, I'm still thinking about well, what else can happen. And again, this is not easy because of a lot of things, because a lot of how well they marketed this film.
Okay,
So I mean,
well, let's do this then. There was a lot of rumors, and people have been piecing together a lot of like clues that were given out throughout both the MCU, not screenshots, but behind the scenes, photographs of the set. And one of those predictions from the internet is that they're going to time travel, because there's an image of Chris Evans wearing the first Avengers suit. So, what do you think about that?
It looks that way. Like looking at it and considering how, it like what happened in Ant-Man and the Wasp, you can actually piece that together that where it's yeah, they're gonna go back in time.
So, do you think
to do some? My prediction is that they're gonna go back in time. Now that you mentioned it, is that they're gonna go back in time and they're gonna try and save Loki from going back because
they're gonna stop Loki from going to Earth?
Yeah, like they want to save him, but also at the same time stop him because they feel like that he might be a key factor to the plot where they can actually stop this entire process and stop ahead of time.
I don't know if Loki is that big of a key in stopping Thanos. I mean, he was a henchman, kind of. He was like a I don't even know how to like a herald. I don't know what the right word would be, but he was like a pawn for Thanos to like go to Earth.
Yeah, pawn's more like it.
Conquer Earth and basically make Earth for Thanos. But I don't know what other role Loki would play. What do you think about this? What if not all the Avengers go back in time?
if they don't go back in time,
Because in the screenshot, we only not the screenshot. I keep calling it a screenshot. In the photograph, it's only Steve, Robert Downey Jr. and what's Ant-Man's character or his actor.
the actor's name is Paul Rudd.
Him. It's only them. You don't see any other characters or actors.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. Like, I don't know exactly. Well, if it's not getting Loki, I can't think of anything else. What else they can do there, other than instead of like fighting the Chitauri in the city, they just go headfirst into the black hole that was created by the Tesseract and just head on right in there and hijack a ship and go straight forward with whatever weapons are in there.
What if that isn't a time travel scene, and instead, because we do see in some of the trailers, Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America, they're like walking up to Thanos, but the environment's weird.
It looks dark, right?
It's like deserted and like in disarray, but for some reason he's like sitting on a throne. So what if he's like warped reality and he has them on like some weird plane of existence, and instead of like the Avengers figuring out how to go back in time, he sends them back in time to relive that. So they get into like this huge loop of just constantly living in their failure.
That makes it deep.
But then Thanos wins again, and it's like
Then
we're hoping that this closes it out.
Avengers 5 then comes out. And then now that you meant like the environment there, it's I saw some screenshots of that trailer. I know which one you're talking about. And it also shows Thanos armed and ready with this really cool sword staff. It looks so badass.
Which you would think, if you have the Infinity Gauntlet, why would you need any other weapon?
Maybe the Infinity Gauntlet's no longer useful, and at that point it's like, what's the point?
Why wouldn't it be useful?
Maybe he fried it. That much power maybe fried the gauntlet and it's no longer
But at the end
operational.
but after the snap, he was able to teleport away. He warped away.
Maybe it still had a little bit of juice. I mean, again, details.
All these maybes make for bullshit excuses. It's like maybe it just had just enough power to get him out of there.
Anyway, you're veering off what I'm trying to say. That dark environment, it reminded me of Vormir, which is where Thanos and Gamora went to get the Soul Stone. It looked dark. It had this dark blue, purple, red color.
Oh, so what if he went there to like mourn?
Yeah. Now that you think that, yeah, he loved Gamora very much, like it was his own daughter. That's a good point. Maybe he went there and that's the final battle.
Thanks. I'm glad I made that point. I made it very excellently.
I didn't think of that actually. And not only that, it's not just him. I also saw like an army behind him.
Was there?
Yeah, I saw, like, it was pretty dark. It was him armed and ready again, and he took off his helmet like as if he was like, yeah, I don't need this. I can take you guys on without this thing.
Come at me, bro.
Yeah, come at me.
Come at me, Ant-Man.
Yeah, you see these scars on my face are nothing. Anyway, and you see like a bunch of people, well, not people, like some sort of army behind him, and it's like, holy shit.
Would he even still have any army to command?
I mean, they had that extra ship where
For
he
the
sits on the throne, and
For the Chitauri? Oh, wait, there is a ship, isn't there?
yeah, it's where he had Gamora with her, and they had that conversation, and he also showed
Maybe it's
Nebula.
Maybe it's like his elites, like his big boys.
Yeah, and they look cool now that in Infinity War.
Okay, so who do you think will die and stay dead? Dun dun dun. Want me to go first?
It would make sense. It would be interesting for Captain America to die.
Yeah, like okay.
If they both die, then it's like,
no. So are you basing that off of like actual predictions, or because they both Chris Evans, Chris Evans and Robert Downey have both said that they were basically done after this?
Well,
Right.
with Chris, well, this is based on two things. One,
Your prediction?
yeah.
Okay.
One is that it all goes well, and because of what went on with Civil War, he's basically a wanted man, and some crazy dude out there for some reason, um, it would be crazy, and it would make me like scratch my head a bit if it was Bone Crusher again, and
But he died.
I know, and that's the thing, like, because this is like a fan service theory, and I predicted, because that's what happened in the comics. Bone Crusher assassinated Captain
I
America.
don't think they're gonna go down that route.
I mean, I don't think so.
That'd be a
But that's
really
like,
that'd be a really bitch way to go after everything he's been through, after having fought that huge army in Wakanda, after having like
take
held
on an
held
angry Titan.
held Thanos' hand in an embracing moment. That'd be a bitch way to go. I don't think he's gonna go like that if he does. But not considering, okay, here's what I'm thinking. Tony and Steve both live, but they both retire.
Mm.
I'm betting Steve becomes like a teacher or like an instructor, either for Shield or whatever, or like an Avengers recruiter,
A history
and
teacher.
he becomes like not a history teacher, a combat teacher.
That work.
I'm betting he becomes some kind of instructor, and Steve retires, and he every now and then he'll go like off on missions, like it's implied he'll be going on missions because the MCU is still gonna be going on. Spider-Man confirms it. But like he'll be like in the background of the Marvel films from now on. Like maybe now and then you'll hear word of it as an Easter egg, but he'll be in the background. Same with Tony. He might retire and not even don the suit again ever. But he'll probably keep developing tech for future Avengers. And that's how I think they're gonna dismiss both characters. Neither character will die, but they'll both still be prevalent in the universe, even if they do become background characters. Bam, that makes sense without either character dying.
With Iron Man, that would make sense because he promised Pepper in Infinity War, like, he doesn't want. I mean, there's a reason why he destroyed all of those suits in Avengers 3.
Yeah, but then he made him again.
Well, no, he only made one. He only made one, which is basically the nanotech suit in Infinity War, and he basically made that just to be like, I'm only having this basically as a way,
Protection.
to protect you and the
So,
family that we will potentially have.
Who else do you think might die? Or I guess not die necessarily, but who do you think will be written out as a character? And it doesn't necessarily mean die. Kind of like how I'm predicting Tony and Steve will be written out.
Well, Black Widow, it's pretty much confirmed she's gonna have her own solo film.
Okay.
Hawkeye's, Hawkeye, I don't know. Maybe he could be written out finally. Like, he could be like, because he's been planning retirement for a while. But
I bet you
every time this event happens, he has to come back, and it's like, God damn it, I have to do this. I have to pick up this mess. I have to do this.
I bet you Hawkeye dies.
That would be messed up.
I bet you he's one of the characters that like permanently dies.
Maybe that would be sad too.
It would be, which is perfect.
In that,
And I'm not saying that as in I hate Hawkeye. I'm just saying it'd be a perfect tragedy.
a perfect tragedy, and this is the thing where before I explain that, but that's one prediction. Guardians of the Galaxy, well, Rocket, there's gonna be a third Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I don't
movie.
think any of them are gonna die.
He's not gonna die. I know he's not.
I don't think any of them will die.
All I know is I feel like Nebula could die
That's true.
because she's like there, but she's also like a good support for the sisterhood, the sister bondment, the bond, a good bonding agent, emotional.
For Gamora.
Yeah,
I get what you're trying to say.
yeah. I don't know.
but
I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't form the right words.
Yeah, like throughout this podcast, throughout this episode, I've been like stuttering and saying weird things just because I'm so tired and it's so late as we're recording this.
It's been a pretty heavy day.
Who else? I don't know. I can't see anybody else like kicking the bucket. like T'Challa will stay, Doctor Strange will stay.
Yeah, they confirmed their films.
I guess, yeah. Also, that's cheating because they have confirmed films. I guess the only characters that I can even picture maybe dying is maybe Thor,
Yeah,
because there's no.
he lost everything, and at this point, he even said himself, like, if I die,
Then
this
I die.
then I die because
Yeah,
I have nothing else to lose.
yeah.
I'm
Like
alive for a good reason.
that. He is one. He's a very potential character that could die. Um, because I can't. Well, I guess they could write him out too, because he is. Because what if he manages to revive his people, like the Asgardians?
Yeah, that's another thing.
But they didn't die to the snap. They died to like actual.
Yeah, they actually died from the wrath of Thanos.
So what if Thor rationalizes? Well, my people are dead. What else do I have to live for? So what if he just sacrifices himself?
That yeah, and a good segue. And the other day we were watching uh Harry Potter: The Deathly Hallows.
How does this fucking relate?
I'm using this as an example, and I actually appreciate when you actually make impactful moments like this. I read some of the books. I even read the ending of the book, and I was so surprised of how many characters were killed during the war in the campus of Hogwarts.
Don't spoil it.
It's been out since 2011. Shut up. And I was so surprised at how many characters were killed that were a lot of people liked, and I was like, it gives you that Shakespearean impact, if you know what I mean.
Nope.
Like you see in Shakespeare, like in Shakespeare's stories, he kills off a lot of characters, but some of them were kind of weak characters, and it's like you didn't care much about them.
Oh,
And
so you're saying it surprised you that they would act like J.K. Rowling actually killed off the lovable characters?
yeah, she actually that's the one thing I did respect. I do respect her on that, on her writing, is that she went when I found out some of these characters were dead, I was like, okay, that's ballsy.
So
I can
we're going.
I'll get on board with that.
We're going too much into Harry Potter. So back, bringing it into Endgame. You're saying you would be both surprised and kind of like a good surprised if they killed off lovable characters in Endgame.
Yeah, I mean,
That's all you had to say.
that's what I'm trying to explain, but you keep cutting me off. That's what I'm trying to explain, and the only thing that can the only argument that can counter that is, well, because of the snap in Infinity War, where pretty much a lot more characters were killed off.
So what if Loki stays dead?
If Loki stays dead, then that becomes like basically a middle finger to the people that keep saying, nah, he's not dead.
Yeah, I can't see him coming back though. Like realistically, if you think about it, I can't see Loki coming back. Sure, I mean sure, Spider-Man comes back, obviously. T'Challa comes back. Doctor Strange comes back, but that can be explained away by saying they reverse the snap. They bring back everybody that was snapped out. Loki wasn't. I guess he was kind of snapped out.
He was squeezed out for
Loki wasn't vanished. He wasn't erased from the universe the same way
he was murdered.
The way everybody else was. I don't know if okay, because in the movies, the characters aren't as powerful as they are in comics. Like in the comics, the characters can do some crazy shit. Thor is like the Thor in the movies is a weaker Thor. If you look at him in the comics, he's extremely powerful. Like he is a god. Captain Marvel, I haven't seen Captain Marvel, but in the comics she's insanely strong too. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Infinity Gauntlet was also powered down for the films. So I don't know if the Infinity Gauntlet in the films has the power to bring back all the dead people that Thanos has killed over the past few, I guess, years in the movie. Like the people on the ship, Loki,
People even before then.
Yeah, I don't know if it's powerful enough to do that.
I don't think so because it's not. I feel like it's like a what's the term, like a condition, like a contract. Anything that happens from the will of the glove, from the gauntlet, it can be reversed.
With the
That was
glove,
that was impacted by the glove,
gauntlet. Yeah.
by the gauntlet. Yeah, like kind of like in, again, example, like in Dragon Ball Z. Cell kills these characters, and then you have to be specific.
Chill, dude.
You have to be specific with the Dragon Balls. It's like, yeah, bring these people back that Cell killed, and it brings those people back.
And it's like, what about the people that he didn't kill? Well, fuck them.
Well, yeah, you can't do that because he's not.
Bring back all the people that died in the past 48 hours, or in the past 2 weeks, or whatever. How long Cell was around?
Yeah, monkey's paw kind of thing.
Yeah, that'd be a bitch.
But again,
I'm wondering if any of the other Avengers can even control it. The Infinity Gauntlet.
everybody. That's another thing. Everybody keeps posting. I'll go on Instagram, and some really good photoshoppers. That's what they call them.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
People who use Photoshop professionally.
Sure.
They've been like posting a lot of interesting pictures of how they would get the Infinity Stones attached to themselves or even attached to their weapons as if it was substituting the gauntlet.
Oh, I hate that.
Like, it was weird, but it was kind of epic at the same time.
No, I hate when they do that. It's like, what if it wasn't a gauntlet? What if it was a fucking underwear? What if they wore thong?
I mean, it looked pretty cool when it was actually attached to Captain America's shield.
I bet it does, but it's like when you think about it, it's fucking stupid. I don't know. I'm just hateful.
I see your point. I know you're that kind of person who doesn't like it when they like just flip the table over and
It's
just
like,
like,
what
screw
if,
it.
It's
this
like, what
happens.
if we bedazzle Thor's Stormbreaker, put some gems on that baby, and make it glow?
No, it was more like the writers are desperate. They just snorted some crack, and it's like, what else do? We do this. How do we do that? Screw it. Don't question it. It's Marvel. Anything can happen. Bam. They did it, and it somehow freaking works.
I guess. Oh, that leads to another thing. Who do you think? Okay, so one of my predictions is, and this is kind of like, it's kind of an obvious prediction. Who knows? Maybe they might even write it out. Who do you think will use the gauntlet? Because I'm predicting that they're gonna get the gauntlet back somehow.
Yeah, that's another one.
At the
That's
very
another prediction.
least, the stones. So who do you think is gonna wield them to bring everybody back? Because in the comics, Tony does wield it at one point, and he becomes the first human to wield all 6.
So does Spider-Man, but look where he is right now. Of all characters, let it. I hope. I would laugh if it was Rocket.
What the fuck?
I would totally laugh. Like, hey, I get the gauntlet. How much do you want for it?
Would they really overuse that joke again? They've used it once in Guardians.
I mean, Rocket is a dirtbag. Rocket Raccoon is a dirtbag, but he's like a dirtbag that you would totally hang out with.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did use that joke at one point, though. But it has to be funny. It has to be at the right moment. Either make sure it makes like the audience laugh, or don't use it at all. Because they used it in Guardians, they used it in Infinity War. It was fucking funny in Infinity War. But if they try to use it again for the gauntlet, it's like it's not a prosthetic.
I mean, if it makes sense towards the end, and it's like, hey, Ray Gauntlet killed. Yeah,
I'm interested. I wish I could see Rocket react more on Earth because he is originally an Earthling.
I want him to see an actual raccoon and be like, "That's what I look like." What the fuck?
What the fuck is that thing?
It was like, it's a raccoon. What did you call me? No, that's what they are. That's what we call them.
It's like we call them trash pandas too. Trash panda. That'd be funny if Rocket got it. I don't know how he'd use it. He'd fit in it.
He'd wear it like a knight's armor.
That'd be funny. I think realistically, the most likely person to use it will be Tony. And he's gonna have a moment of temptation where he's like, I can protect anybody I want. And it's gonna go back to that thing that he was doing in Age of Ultron, where he goes, crazy trying to put a suit of armor on the Earth, metaphorically. So I'm betting he's gonna have like a moment of temptation where he wants to use the gauntlet for good, but everybody around him sees him going like power crazy, and he's gonna have that choice of, no, I'm gonna use this for good, and then separate the stones again. Make sure they're all separated.
Or that's a good point. That's one good prediction. Or Captain America gets the gauntlet, and this has to be to a point where he's like really at his wits end. Like he's really tired. He's beaten down. Like this is like to the point where he's like a boxer in the 14th round. You know, it's like that far. And he's scared. And he actually wears the gauntlet, and it's like out of complete desperation, he feels like he has that opportunity to just go back to back to his time.
But if he has the gauntlet, why would he be desperate? They've already won if they have the gauntlet.
I was thinking like so desperate, like he's not even thinking.
What if he's like, will they finally win and he gets the gauntlet, and then he has that temptation, like, I could go back to my time and like forget all this, and like erase all this pain that I've gone through. That's one thing.
That's another thing.
I guess most Avengers have, if not all of them have. Stop. Don't. I guess all of them have a reason to like be tempted by the gauntlet. All the ones that are alive, at least.
Yeah, because once you wear it, you're pretty much a god.
Yeah.
You wield reality. You wield the universe.
I think
firsthand.
Also because, in some of the cartoons, I don't know if this is accurate to any comics, but in some of the cartoons, whenever a mortal has it, they do go kind of crazy. They go power crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if Thor will be the only one that can handle the whole power, like the power of the whole thing.
I feel like Thor would be the. In fact, here's the thing. I think that after everything is over, I feel like Thor would get the gauntlet, destroy the gauntlet, and have all the stones to himself, and would carry the deed to taking these stones in separate places, and you never see him again, and he's gone.
And then he puts them up his butt. I'm sorry.
I'm actually having a serious conversation there, and you just went that route.
That would make sense because he just had the Bifrost, so he can travel, I guess, through the universe.
Yeah, that's not, like, yeah, he that's literally how he says goodbye.
By the way, the whole franchise takes place in our galaxy, right? In one galaxy. I mean, aside from
Our galaxy's huge, man.
aside from the realms that Thor visits, basically the entire franchise takes place in the Milky Way, right?
Pretty much, our galaxy's pretty huge.
Yeah, baby. Anyway, we're pretty much out of time. The sound we heard earlier was, in fact, the timer. So, closing thoughts? Excited for it. Excited for Endgame?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to see it sometime either this weekend or next week. And we'll come back next episode with I guess a review of it.
I'm hoping for a review.
And
Non-spoiler.
we'll do both.
Well, yeah, we're going to do both, but we're going to give you a non-spoiler review for those who haven't seen it.
We'll figure out how we do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess as soon as I upload this episode, I'm not gonna look at the comments.
Nope.
In case somebody's like, "Oh, you guys were right about this," or "Oh, no, you guys were wrong. This actually happened."
Yeah.
So,
Side note. Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, I'm gonna, as soon as I upload this episode, I'm just basically not even gonna look at the comments. I'm just gonna like log out until I watch the movie.
Side note, some people are watching like the Endgame trailers. I've been watching the Infinity War trailer, and that's been pumping me up even more.
Oh yeah, we should watch that first before we watch Endgame. Just like a refresher.
Yeah.
I wish I could watch all of them, except Captain Marvel. But
Captain,
shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
I'm waving my hand back and forth, like
Yeah, they can't see it because this is not a video podcast.
teeter totter, like that thing.
Anyway, follow us on YouTube. Subscribe. Follow us on Facebook, to keep up to date with us, just to have discussions on there, and follow us on Instagram where we'll post insties. What do you call Instagram posts? Instas,
IG posts. That's
whatever. Yeah. Anything else?
follow us on our own YouTube channels.
Nah, fuck that.